Welcome to Mindset Mondays, where we empower contractors like you with the tools, systems, and frameworks, not just to succeed in business, but in life as well. Join us as we explore the strategies that will elevate your work, insights that will clear your path, and stories that will inspire your journey. Because here, it's about more than just the build. It's about crafting a legacy. All right, welcome back to Mindset Mondays, where every week we dive deep into the heart and soul of the contracting business, and that is one three-letter word, Y-O-U. We got some folks that are joining us live. If you are listening or watching us live, we'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and drop a comment in the chat, and we will make sure to shout you out. Man, we got one person right out of the gates. Robert Biddy, what's going on, my man? Good to see you. Good to have you here on the show. Again, go ahead and comment your name, your business, where you're from, and we'll make sure that we shout you out. Today, I want to fill you in on a little conversation I had this weekend. This weekend, I was talking to one of I can't reveal his name yet, but I'll say a gentleman in the industry who's got about 30 years experience. And in this conversation, we were talking about technology inside of the contracting space. Now, I've been a big proponent of technology for many years, and it's not because I'm good at it. Let's just be real. I am old enough to remember when I first logged into AOL, for us old farts. You remember AOL? I was in my parents' basement when I finally connected to the internet for the first time. I think it was like 1992 or 93, and I thought I was super cool. We got Robert Fenco Fence from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Welcome. But yeah, so I remember logging in and thinking it was so cool. And of course, there wasn't anything to do. Fast forward to 2024. Here we are in April, and there's literally talks that Google is having with OpenAI to create a supercomputer at the cost of, I think it was $100 billion, which is astronomical. Joel, great to see you here. $100 billion. Think about that for a minute. Right? That's an amount of money that we won't ever see in our lifetime. We got Christina from Zacharias Landscaping in SoCal. Welcome. Chappelle Pressure Washing from Texas. Good to have you. And John McMahon. Hello to you as well. We got somebody's marketplace. Not really sure what that is, but glad to have you. And we were talking about this. Jeff from Fairbanks, Alaska. God bless you. I'm sick of the winter already. But we were talking about AI in the contracting space. And I said, do you believe that the contracting space is lagging behind every other industry when it comes to leveraging technology? And he said, yes, but not for long. And so as we were talking, he brought up a couple of examples to me, right? And he sent me some videos, and we'll share these with you guys, or you can Google them and find them. Real quick, we got Todd Reynolds, Benjamin Collins. Hello. Angel Nieves from the Bay Area. And I can't pronounce your name. Yamilcar Perez. He didn't say where he was from, but welcome. So he was talking about some examples, and he shot me this video. Here's the first video. The Apple Vision Pro goggle glasses, whatever you call them. He said, this video will show you where technology is going. And it was a company, and I can't remember their name right now, but it was a company that had figured out how to take their tools and incorporate them into the Vision Pro glasses. Now, let me explain how this works. What they were doing is their tools were digital and had the connection to other platforms. And so this gentleman who was wearing the glasses measured 3 or 4 different cuts on a window that needed to be made. And the cuts for the window appeared on the quote unquote screen on the side of his Vision Pro, right? Now, again, I'm not going to get too deep into technology, but I want you guys to picture this, right? So on this Vision Pro, can you see through them? Yes, but you can also put multiple screens up at the same time. And so all these different lengths that needed to be cut were appearing on his screen on one side. He moved over to the side. Then he goes over to his saw. Well, because his saw was connected to his tape measure, which was connected to his Google Pro glasses or Apple Vision Pro, whatever they're called, he was then able to precisely measure the cuts that needed to be made. And as he made the cuts, he was able to check off the cuts that needed to be made on his Vision Pro glasses. Crazy. right? So here we are in 2024. Now this technology is starting to make its way into the contracting space. Another example, two guys were at a yard and they were looking at a big pile of landscaping rocks, 1-inch rocks, right? Nothing special or crazy or pretty. It was just a big pile of rocks. Same thing. He had these Vision Pro glasses on and he walks around the pile of rocks and he's just looking at the pile of rocks, nothing else. He makes it all the way around. The AI then calculates the tonnage, right? How much rock is actually in the pile that he was looking at, right? Crazy. Oh, but wait, there's more. Okay. There's a machine now by a company that can 3D print a house out of concrete. That's right, out of concrete. 3D print a house. There's an architectural firm. I think they're out of Arizona. Not really sure, but there's an architectural firm that can take your ideas for a house. You tell it, I want a modern floor plan in the mountains, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with, fully landscaped yard. And it will create 3D renderings of said projects. And then if you're happy with it, it will generate a floor plan for you that you can then take to a builder who can build it for you. Right? So technology is here, right? And if you're still using a pen and a paper, God bless you, but you're going to get left behind. Everything's moving faster, right? Faster sometimes than we can even keep up with it. Now, I didn't want to talk to you guys today about what you should be scared about in the contracting industry. What I want you to see is the opportunity that exists. Because here's the truth. It's not that technology is going to take over the human component. What technology is going to take over is the redundant tasks that we do. Okay. And if you play your cards right, your business will not only survive, but will thrive if you learn to leverage technology. Now, shameless plug for Contractor Plus. If you're not using Contractor Plus, you should be. It's going to help keep you organized. It's going to help you make more accurate estimates. It's going to help you follow up with your clients. It's going to make sure that you're job costing in a way that you're not just getting by, but you're actually making money. I could go on and on. But if you're not using Contractor Plus, you should be. Again, technology that we talk about, right? Now, I want to go over some statistics, some very simple statistics for you to understand, okay? According to a survey done by the U.S. Labor Board, they said the biggest challenges that contractors, their owners that are owners, clarify that, the biggest issues that contractors who are owners face in 2024, okay? Number one, at the top of the list, managing cash flow. And I can't repeat that enough, managing cash flow. It's not about making money, it's about keeping money. I know that'll be a separate conversation, but I just want you to be aware of that. Number one, okay? And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You see the dollars coming in the bank account, and then you see the dollars going out, and you're like, what the hell just happened? I got pennies left over. That's not why you're in business, okay? We'll talk about that at a different point. The second thing, inflation, interest rates, and the economy, right? It's looking at this and going, wait a minute. How does this affect me? When the median home price in my state is now more than what the median income is, what do I do? How does that affect me, right? So that's the second concern. The third one that we talk about is maintaining highly skilled labor. There's a lot of head nodding. Yep, you're right. Some of you are probably on the job site right now, ready to fire somebody. Maintaining highly skilled labor, right? It's a hard thing. And then the last one just kind of got bundled up into other concerns, right? So just know that the things that you're dealing with or that you're experiencing aren't unique to you. They're unique to business owners, right? Across the industry. So take a deep breath and realize, okay, I got this. I'll still be alive. Now, I want to keep going down this path of statistics, right? For those of you that don't know me, you know that, or you don't know, but I'll give you a recap. In my prior life, I was a police officer in Arizona. I was really good at driving fast and tasing people. Pretty much the two skill sets that I had there. Okay, maybe there's a couple more, but that's what I was known for. But really what made us successful as police officers was an understanding of the data, of the numbers, right? What is it telling us? Now, I'll give you a perfect example. We would use statistics. And yes, I do have a college degree in business management. No, I don't remember any of my classes. But I will tell you how statistics applies, right? Super simple. So let's just say there's a particular area and there have been 4 armed robberies, right? Convenience stores, there's been 4 armed robberies. We would look at that data and then we would analyze the data. What type of stores? What time of day? What day of the week? Right? And we would start to say, okay, based on the information we have, what's the likelihood that they're going to strike again at this date in this time in this area? Right? And we would position more units, additional officers, so on and so forth in the area. And oddly enough, guess what? It worked. Right? But why did it work? It worked because we paid attention to the numbers, to the data. When I was working undercover, we would build big cases against criminal organizations. And we would do it looking at the data. Okay. What is this information telling us about their patterns of behavior, about what they do and how they do it? And we would build cases on these people based on the data. I'm telling you this because I know that you most likely are like me. You don't like numbers. You don't like data, which is why your books are behind, which is why you actually don't know if you're making money or not, which is why you're constantly looking for another line of credit. I get it. Okay. But I want to help you see that data is the most important thing that you will ever understand inside of your business. Okay. So let's get into some numbers. Or I should say additional numbers. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, ready? Construction managers were paid an average of $110,000 a year. Average of $110,000 a year. Why am I telling you that there's an average of $110,000 a year salary? Because right now you still believe that you can hire somebody for $15 an hour and expect them to stick around. Not only that, you expect them to be halfway decent. And you're oddly shocked and surprised when they're not, when they show up drunk or high, or when you call to find out where they're at and you figured out they got arrested, or when they just plain and simply don't show up. See, the reason is because you're dealing with the bottom of the barrel people. Bottom of the barrel, right? The people who we like to say have a pulse. You're like, you got a heartbeat, you got a pulse, you're hired. Those are not the people that you want. But you need to understand what's the going rate for a project manager, for a construction superintendent, for an office assistant, for a salesman. You need to understand what the numbers are because you're in competition with every other contractor out there. We were working with a trim carpenter in Arizona, and he said, hey, I paid my guys $18 an hour for years, and I can't seem to keep them anymore. And I was like, yes. And he said, why are you agreeing with me? I said, because you've identified the problem. I was like, what's the going rate for a trim carpenter right now? His answer, I don't know. And that's a problem, right? How do you compete on something you don't know the rules to? Right? You don't know how much a person is worth an hour anymore. Not only that, you don't know how much it's worth an hour to you. See, when I was running my remodeling business, the first thing that I did was hire a project manager. Now, I did this because we were remodeling remotely, living out of state and remodeling in Arizona, but it was hire a project manager. And I went through and I called probably 20 different companies that either I knew or had a relationship with. And I said, hey, what's the going rate for a project manager? And I got all their numbers. And then I looked at their numbers and I said, okay, this is what the industry average is paying right now. And I think it was like $35 an hour, something like that. And I said, I'm going to pay $40 an hour. Now you may wonder why. I'm going to lose money, right? Oh, you're paying $5 an hour extra. That's less money in your pocket. Well, maybe. Or maybe it means that I get to hire a higher quality person because I'm now paying him more than you would be willing to pay him. And so the likelihood, one, of him wanting to work for me increases. Two, the likelihood of him sticking around increases. And it did. For the time that we were remodeling those houses in Arizona, fixing and flipping, if you will, the guy did an amazing job. We would meet once a week. We'd talk about the projects. We'd talk about what needed to get done. At the end of the week, we talked about what got done and what didn't get done. And that's it. He ran the show himself. He had a company card. He could order all the materials he needed to. And he did his job, right? But he did it because I didn't have to deal with him, because I was willing to pay more for the good guys. Now, question for you, and this is optional, of course, but we'd love to hear it in the chat. Question for you. Do you know what the going rate is for the next person you're looking to hire? And it could be a laborer. It could be a sub. It could be an office person. It could be a project manager, construction manager. But do you know the going rate? Right? Simple question. You can drop it in the chat. If you know the answer, yes, no. I don't know. But the second part of that is, what is it worth to you? Are you willing to pay above that going rate for it? Everybody that works for me now gets above market pay, and they know they do. But I can increase the expectations, right? The expectations that I have for them, because I'm paying them more. So what is it that's the going rate? Christina's got 17 to 20. If I remember right, Christina, you said you were in landscaping. Yeah, that's a range though, right? Yeah, landscaping in SoCal. Ooh, SoCal. Here's one for you, Christina. How much do they pay at McDonald's in SoCal? Because California just raised their minimum wage, right? Let me see if I can find this. Minimum wage in California. Let's see. It is now $16 an hour, right? Oh, no, wait. I think it went higher. I think it went up to 20. Yep. Fast food workers, $20 an hour. Perfect example. Christina, we're not picking on you. We're just using the example from you being in landscaping and in California. So you said 17 to $20 an hour. I can work at McDonald's flipping burgers for $20 an hour. Think about that for a minute. Where would somebody rather work? Sweating outside, digging ditches, laying sod, or flipping burgers? Right? Again, it's just something that you need to be aware of. If you want to hire people and you want them to work for you, you're going to have to pay more than your quote unquote competition. And now, unfortunately, thank you, COVID, and for the rest of the country in California, thank you, Governor Newsom, you're competing against McDonald's, Starbucks, Wendy's, In-N-Out Burger, which I do like their burgers. You're competing against these guys. That's your competition. It's not the other landscaping companies, right? Again, you need to be aware of this so that you can start to make decisions. I want to grow as a business. In order for me to grow as a business, one, I need to make sure that I'm making money. Okay. Let me show you how this all works together. One, I need to make sure that I'm actually making money. Okay. So you need to be charging the right amount. Two, I need to be able and willing to pay somebody to help me continue to grow. Because here's the truth. Some of you guys are here. You're competing against yourself more than anything else, right? Christina, great question. I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. Okay. The rabbit hole of how do I do better bids? Great question. So first of all, I'll give you guys this example. When you go to the grocery store and you're looking for an apple, a red apple, how many red apples do you think are in a grocery store? 2, 5, 10? I'll tell you that there's over 20 varieties of red apples that exist. 20 varieties. Red Delicious, Gala, Fuji. I only remember 3. But there's over 20, okay? So if you don't know anything about how red apples taste, you just know you want an apple. And you walk up and you see rows upon rows upon rows of red apples. Which one are you going to choose? Christina, you're probably going to choose the one that's the cheapest. Why? Because you can't tell the difference. So think about the people that you're giving landscaping bids to. If they can't tell the difference between you and your competitor, they're going to choose on price. Always, every single day. Now, people fight me on this all the time, and I love it. I love it, right? So if you, and here's the challenge, if you are willing to spend the time and the energy to make yourself different, people are always willing to pay for that. I will tell you that. There's always the people who are price shopping. Always. There will always be a percentage of people who are price shopping. But then there'll be a percentage of people whose time is more important. There'll be a percentage of people who value quality above price. Your job is to find them. But again, without going too far down the rabbit hole, what's your marketing plan? What are you offering above? And I don't know if you do installs or if you just do regular maintenance or both, but what are you offering above and beyond what everybody else offers? Again, if you can't differentiate yourself, they're not going to go with you. I wouldn't. All right. So off the soapbox there. Let me go to the next statistic. Okay. I want you guys to understand this, that the industry as a whole, spending wise, the industry as a whole saw a 5% increase last year. 5%. So for those of you who think that we're in a recession, we're not. For those of you that think that people aren't spending money, they are. And you're like, but they aren't building as much. No, they are. But they aren't buying as much. They are. You just have to find them. Because here's the crazy part, right? Do you even know how many people you need to have as clients in order for you to hit whatever goal you have? Let's just say it's $1 million. Do you know how many people you need to have as clients to hit $1 million? Let's go back to Christina and landscaping jobs. Let's say they're landscape install jobs, right? And let's just say they're $20,000 landscape install jobs on average, right? So I'm breaking out the calculator here because me and math are not best friends. That's 50 jobs, okay? That's 50 jobs that you have to do a year at an average of $20,000 that will generate $1 million for you. That's it. That's 4.2 jobs a month, which is 1 job a week. The data is the data is the data. Do you not think that you can find 1 job a week to hit 7 figures? Christina says, I have 35 residential and 3 commercial, so it looks like maintenance. Again, there are people out there that are willing to spend the money, but they don't know who you are and they don't know how valuable you are. And that's not their job. That's your job. The construction industry, let me see if I can get the right number here, because it was in the big with a B, billion, trillion, I don't know. Let's see. Home improvement in 2023 increased by 1%. That's an increase. And I don't even know what the number is. Commercial construction spending in July of 23, 128 billion, up 11% from the previous year. Office construction, 8% increase in 2023. There are billions of dollars floating out there, and you don't need $1 billion. Let's just be real. You won't get $1 billion, but you don't need $1 billion, right? So where am I going with this? Christina, first of all, I appreciate you being the example here. But listen, even doing maintenance, right? What would make you more valuable? What would make you more valuable, right? What are people willing to pay for? If you're in California, Southern California, and I don't know exactly where, but if you're in Southern California and you're looking at, South Central Los Angeles apartment complexes to do their maintenance, good luck. Like, they're not going to pay a lot. They might pay, but they're not going to pay a lot. But you go down to Orange County, you go to Irvine, You go to some of the other wealthy parts of Los Angeles, right? People are more than willing to spend the money. But again, they don't know who you are. So I want you guys to know something, right? The success or failure of your business, and this is why we do Mindset Mondays, by the way. There's no cost to this. We love you guys being here, and thank you for participating. The reason we do Mindset Mondays is because we want you to understand that the difference between success and failure is you. It's not me. It's not the economy. It's not Contractor Plus. It's not Justin. It's not anybody else. It's you. You are the difference between success and failure. And the only way that you're going to succeed is you learn to acquire the tools that you need to succeed. That's it. If I want to build out my yard, my backyard, I can use a hand trowel, right? And a shovel, and I can dig ditches. Sure. Really inefficient. Will I get it done? Probably eventually, but it's going to take some tools, right? And it's going to take some time. Now, if I had a trencher and 4 guys, I'd get that job done in 2 days versus 4 weeks, right? It's about you. So Todd just said, communication is what my customers pay for. I keep them involved in every step of the project. Awesome, Todd. And you're dead on. I am more than willing to refer somebody who's amazing at communication. Love it. That's great. Christina says, I've been in business since 2018. I've earned the #1 spot 3 years in a row through Nextdoor app as well. We believe it's our customers' way, not ours. Okay, fair enough. You do all your marketing. Congratulations. Most contractors still do. Not a bad thing. But think about this, Christina. Nextdoor, okay? Are people on Nextdoor price shopping or are they looking for quality? And it's just a question. I don't know the answer to it. Are they price shopping or are they looking for quality? Right? How is it that you determine your price for these folks? Again, this is the data that I talk about. If you were to go back, Christina, and look at all of your clients, you're going to see a disparity. There's going to be some who are paying more and some who are paying less. What if you went out and found more that paid more, right? Because the data is what the data is. And this is so funny to hear myself saying this. If you would have known me 20 years ago, I would never have talked about data. I was the just wing it guy. And I was really good at it too. And it was really exhausting. And it was a hit and miss on the win because of it, right? So if we look at this, we say, okay, Christina, here's my challenge for you. Go back and look at every single one of your existing clients. Separate them out from commercial and residential, and say, okay, residential clients, who's paying what, right? And get your highs and your lows. Your commercial clients, who's paying what? Get your highs and your lows. And that's going to tell you, okay, could I charge more? First of all, the answer is yes. The second part is, where are these guys at? Because as I mentioned before, there's different areas of town where people are willing to spend more money. When I lived in Arizona, guess what? That was North Scottsdale. That was East Mesa. That was Gilbert. It wasn't the south side of Phoenix. It wasn't West Tempe. It's just the way it was. When I was in Boise, it was the same thing. There's parts of Boise, the north end, the west end, super nice, historic neighborhoods, really nice homes. You go out to some of the suburbs, wasn't the same. Right? So where are these people at that are willing to spend the money? Your job is to find them or to find the people who have access to them. So Christina, just a couple of ideas since we're going down this little path right here. If you want to get more commercial clients, let's just say apartment complexes, could you go knock on the doors of every apartment complex in, let's just call it LA? Sure. It's going to take you forever. And good luck finding the decision maker. Or you could join an organization like NARPM. It's called the National Association of Residential Property Managers. I think it is what it stands for. And they have chapters in all the major cities in every state. And you could become a member and you could meet the property managers and build relationships and secure more jobs. Right? I say this because I want you to see that, again, you are the difference between success at the level that you're experiencing it right now and success at the level that you want to experience it. Okay? I want you to understand that you can succeed, but you can't blindly go about waiting for work to come your way, waiting for the right client or customer to come your way, waiting for that job to land in your lap. You can't. There's a contractor I work with in Eastern Idaho. He's an electrician. He hired a salesman. God bless his soul. The salesman lasted 90 days. The salesman sold nothing in 90 days. The salesman got fired. And the owner, Joe, had to go back and realize that the salesman wasn't doing anything. His estimator was sending in the estimates, but his salesman wasn't doing anything. And so he went back old school, phone calls, lunches, taking people out, going to the job sites. This last week, he landed a $160,000 project, and now he's negotiating a $4 million project, which will by far exceed anything he's ever done because of his willingness to create opportunities himself. It is your job to create the opportunities in your business. No one's going to create them for you. Again, I want you guys to start paying attention to some numbers in your business, right? The data. How much is your average client worth? And in order for you to hit your target, how many of those clients do you need? If you're unhappy with how much your clients on average are worth to you, it's time to go find new clients. Where are they? Who has access to them, right? And you start answering these questions and it gives you the opportunity. Christina, you can spend money, sure, but I don't think you need to. In fact, every contractor that I've worked with to push them past 7+ figures, a few into 8, didn't do any type of paid advertising online. None. It was all about building relationships with real people. I get it. It's 2024, AI this, social media that. People are still people. And I trust people that I know. I trust people that I've spent time with. I trust people that I know their families. Like I've seen them. I've shaken their hand. I've taken them out to lunch, right? These are the people that I trust. And so want to grow your business? Cool. Invest the time and the energy building relationships. That's what this whole game is about. Over these next few weeks, I'm going to be in Boise. I'm going to be in Salt Lake City. I'm going to be in Phoenix. And I'm running workshops for contractors. And I'm doing that because I want them to see me in person. I want them to be able to ask me questions. I want to be able to see them, right? There's no better way to build a relationship than to do it in person. All right. Well, that's it for the soapbox today for Mindset Monday. Again, understand you can succeed. You can succeed if you're willing to put the time and the effort into it. You can find the good people, but you have to understand what good people are worth to you. You can continue to grow your business, but you have to understand what growth is and what exactly you need to do to get there. The numbers are the numbers are the numbers are the numbers. And if you want to succeed, you got to pay attention and ultimately fall in love with the numbers. All right. That's all we got for you guys. It's Monday. It's April. Happy April Fool's Day, but no fooling. It's time for you to get after it.
Contractor Plus is funded not by the deep pockets of venture capital firms in Silicon Valley, but by the real MVPs, our loyal fans and users. You've seen us grow, you've grown with us. Now this is your chance to invest and join us as a bona fide stakeholder in Contractor Plus. No velvet ropes, no accredited investors only. Whether you've got $100 or $100,000, this isn't just for the well-heeled. It's for everyone who believes in us or uses Contractor Plus and wants to help us revolutionize the industry. Check out Contractor Plus on WeFunder. Invest what you can, and let's build the future of contractor collaboration together.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Mindset Mondays. Thank you for joining us and being a part of this incredible journey to not just be great at what you do, but to live a great life too. Remember, every tool, tip, and story shared here is a step towards building your dream, both on and off the job site.